received an unperceivable spark that ignited this supernatural ignition. Beguiled this novice from apprentice to master magician. The inventor is himself an invention. Receivers pointed in heaven's direction. Unveiling gadgets, gizmos, machines, and mechanisms beyond human conception. Top of my game, my will and my wish are now one and the same. Calm, cool, collected, wired to the divine, meandering through the labyrinth, hiding inside my mind. Meandering through the labyrinth.
It's amazing what you can do with local. Okay, welcome back in. I let this run because that is just badass. I love that. That's great.
Thanks so much. It's an absolute 100% pleasure to be here.
This is awesome. Mark Rodgers joins us now. Nikola Tesla, Light It Up, an original rock opera. This is going to be cool.
Well, thank you so much. It's debuting at the Delmar Hall here in St. Louis. This is the worldwide premiere of it on June 20th, Saturday night at 7:30. And we have 13 original songs. And they follow the life of this absolutely monster man. I mean, literally, he is the Leonardo da Vinci of the 20th century.
You know, it's so fascinating to me because it seems like over the last couple of decades, you know, even though Tesla, you know, at the time was still, you know, revered, you know, by some, it seems like our generation really has come to understand just how brilliant he really was because he was undervalued, I think.
Oh my God, yes, and everything that we touch on when we turn on that light switch, it's because of him.
How many people think Edison though instead of Tesla for that?
Oh, they hated each other.
Yeah,
they hated each other. In fact, Tesla, when he came over from Europe, his first job was with Edison, and he actually worked for a very short time with the Edison Electric Company over in Europe. And when they got over there, it was oil and water. They couldn't stand it, and even Tesla said that he could not believe Edison got as far as he did in life. Edison was kind of a trial and error kind of guy.
Yeah,
and that's what he did. But Nikola Tesla had all the education. He had it all figured out. He knew all the math. He knew everything.
It was him.
It was him.
Yeah. Well, and now before we go into all this, all the fun of this, you know, take me through what leads up to even developing a show about Nikola Tesla, because it's so creative, but it ties so much. It ties in together, because when I hear rock opera, And Tesla, I'm like, at first I went, how does that tie in? And then hearing the song, it all makes sense. Hearing the music.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, because I've been with the Da Vinci Michelangelo experience.
Incredible, yeah.
This worldwide touring show for the last 10 years. And Tesla, they hated each other. Da Vinci and Michelangelo hated each other. And I wanted to come up with another play. And I thought, well, who am I going to get? And I went, well, there's Tesla and Edison, Tesla's always fascinated me. And I said, we ought to get a conflict of them going. Well, the more I started to look into it, Edison was really not a nice guy.
Yeah, from what I heard, didn't he steal a lot of people? He patented a lot of others.
Well, he bought them and put his name on them. And I actually have a whole song about that in this show. We'll play it. It's called Money and Imagination. But and I wanted to give him this platform because you just don't know what he did and how he did it.
Yeah. Well, and now, so take me through the reception you have with the Da Vinci Michelangelo experience. Did it surprise you that 10 years? Because that's a long time for any piece, and you're able to travel and you're able to go and tour the world and do these things. Did it surprise you the reception of it from the public? And is that why it's so easy to go and not easy, but makes the decision easier to go and try to produce a new concept?
Well, the interesting part about that that made it so exciting for me was nobody knew this.
Yeah.
And nobody knew that Da Vinci hated Michelangelo. Mm-hmm. They were constant competitors, and Da Vinci was tall and handsome, gregarious. Everybody wanted to be associated with Da Vinci. And Michelangelo was small and diminutive. And in fact, his entire life, he said that he hated the way that he looked.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wanted to create that kind, and it came out so beautiful in our experience, in our multimedia show. And I wanted to get that to the next level. I thought, man, I got to do something else. And but when I started looking into this Tesla thing, it just blew me away.
Well, and I'm sure the way that you can tell that story on stage too is just going to be very, very fascinating because there's so many different ways that you can go about it.
Well, actually, exactly right. It actually started out to be a musical.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
We started to be a musical.
Makes sense.
And I was going to do a musical, and then I don't know if you know about musicals. You need millions to put on a musical.
No kidding.
Oh, millions. In fact, Sting, who we know and love, Sting, he put on a musical a year and a half ago. It was called The Last Ship up in New York. And he promptly lost $15 million.
Wow.
And he went on a year and a half worldwide tour, after that show closed, just to get his money back.
Is that why he was a Billy Joel at Bush?
That's right.
I saw
it
the show.
Everybody.
I helped contribute to that.
He came back through St. Louis 3 times that year. He wanted to get his money back. So I said this to my good friend. I've got 2 good friends. I got one with CBS out in Los Angeles. I got one with Disney.
Yeah.
And when I got out of college, I actually worked for CBS, and my brother and I worked for CBS. And I sat there and I said, "Hey, listen, you got to hear this. You got to hear these songs." And I sent it out to my buddy at CBS, and he says, "Mark," he says, "Hey, I got to tell you," he says, "To be honest with you, you're never going to make this into a musical. You know that, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I know it. It's just too expensive. It's just too much whatever." He goes, "Mark goes, but usually with a musical, when you go to, except for Andrew Lloyd Webber, but when you go to a musical, you get there's 1 or 2 good songs."
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. There's one song here, one song there. There's one song that's pretty good. Anyway, Paul sending me out from CBS. He said, "Mark goes, each one of these songs are standalone." I go, "Well, thanks, Paul. I really appreciate it." I said, "I really think that's really cool." He says, "You know what you have here?" And I said, "What do you have?" He goes, "Make it a rock opera." He goes, "You know every musician in St. Louis. You grew up in St. Louis. I went to Berkeley College.
Okay.
And you know every musician in St. Louis." And I said, and this idea clicked. And I said, "I can do that in my sleep." And I went, and so then I got hold of this Jason Nelson band here in St. Louis. You know who he is?
I've heard of him, yes.
He's a magnificent performer. He is rock and roll gold, and entertainment gold here in St. Louis. And this friend of mine said, "You ought to go over see him at one of his shows." He was doing a Queen tribute or whatever. So I went over with my girlfriend. He was in St. Charles or someplace, and I went up to Nisa, and he came out on stage. And he blew the place apart. And I looked over to my girlfriend, Sherry, and I said, "Sherry," do you know who he is? And she said, I know exactly who he is. I said, who is he? He goes, he's your Tesla.
That's incredible.
Your Tesla. And I said, oh my God, he sure is. So at the end of the thing, he came walking out at the end of the set. He came walking up, and he didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? And I said, hey, Jason, I got something to you. I'm Mark Rodgers. I do this play. We ran off Broadway. I don't think I'm going to stop. And you don't know who I am, but I got this rock opera I'm working on. I'm going to go rock opera by Nikola Tesla, and I want you to be Nikola Tesla. And he said, and he didn't even hear the songs. He goes, put me down.
No kidding.
I'm done. Yeah.
It's meant to be then at that point.
Yeah, so we have his whole band.
Yeah.
We're adding, there are going to be 8 pieces. We're going to put in a cello, a violin, and we are going to rock. But this is not rock, it's Broadway.
Yeah.
We got country songs. We've got like Broadway musical songs. So it really is an opera. It really is an opera.
Man, this is fantastic. So when are we going to be able to see this for the first time?
The very first time is June 20th at the Delmar Hall. It's right next to the pageant.
There is a Facebook page up for it right now, too. We have it on the screen.
Right. Exactly,
I found it. And Delmar Hall has it posted. You can go right there. It's Saturday, June the 20th at 7:30 p.m. You can go get tickets, too. It'll take you right to links for that as well.
Exactly.
And what a great venue and atmosphere, really, for a rock opera, too. I mean, that really, I think, is a great place to kick this off.
Well, we are thrilled.
Yeah.
We are absolutely thrilled. Also, I want to remind people, if they get a chance to get over in the St. Louis area, you can say, with these tickets nowadays, the pricing at the service fees.
Yeah.
But if you stop by the Delmar Hall box office, I think they're open on Tuesday and Thursday, and 2 hours before each one of their shows, you can buy them at face value.
Oh, yeah. Really
so
cool.
You save a lot. You do save a lot. Well, so if you get a chance to get over there, you can buy it in, and you buy it with cash, you save a bunch of money.
This is going to be really cool. Why don't we do this? We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more. And every time we come back, we'll just hear more music.
That sounds fantastic.
It helps me. I get to pay bills, and we get to hear more great music. You guys stay there, and we'll be back in the studio 9:43 on this 27th day of February. The year that February was almost over.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS
Welcome to the World's Fair, the Columbian Exhibition. I have a gift for everyone here tonight, straight from my imagination. The second I throw this switch, 200,000 lights will be lit, one for every millennial of mankind who cursed the night, waiting for the sun to rise. Attention all in the court of honor to Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Who have ever dreamt of an Emerald City? Seth has been dealt the fatal blow. Fountain shooting skyward as cannons sound. The first American automobile, George Ferris's new spinning wheel. Electric sun will rise at night, illuminating the Champs-Élysées. The streets of Rome, Piccadilly Square, the lights on Broadway, beckoning Dorothy, Tin Man, Lion and Scarecrow to the end of the yellow brick road. The Merlin behind the curtain, the electrical god. I am the original Wizard of Oz.
Welcome back. I like that a lot. That's
Thank you so much. You know, that's an incredible story about Nikola Tesla that goes with that. When he won the contract to light up the Columbian Exhibition in 1893, and he beat out Thomas Edison for that. He had alternating current, Thomas Edison had direct current. And when Thomas Edison didn't get that bed, he was mad as can be. In fact, he was so mad, he refused to sell Tesla and Westinghouse his incandescent bulbs that they needed to light the Midway, the Grand Tour, the Court of Honor, they called it. So literally, Tesla and Westinghouse had to invent a new light bulb overnight, and they called it the double stopper light bulb. It got them through the exhibition. They actually had to change out 200,000 light bulbs every night after the exhibition, and so he invented. So they invented this stopwatch. Anyway, Nikola Tesla himself was in Chicago on May 1st, the evening of May 1st, 1893, and literally threw the switch that lit up 200,000 light bulbs at one time on the Court of Honor. They said it was the greatest display of lighting the history of the world had ever seen up until that point. Do you know who was in the crowd that night that witnessed this?
no.
His name was L. Frank Baum. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who was L. Frank Baum?
No idea.
He was a writer. And what did he write? The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
And he remembered that night,
No kidding.
May 1st, 1893, when Nikola Tesla threw that switch that lit up 200,000 light bulbs at one time. And when he wrote The Wizard of Oz at the turn of the century, that became his inspiration for the Emerald City.
Wow.
So we can say, without fear of any reprisal whatsoever, that Nikola Tesla truly is the original Wizard of Oz, and that's when that's where the song comes from. I am the original Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. I am the original Wizard of Oz.
How do you put these pieces together? I know that sounds trivial for me to ask, but because you're able to transition from so many different, genres without missing the original soundtrack and still being
Right.
different. It's a really, to me, we were talking about this. You're so right about the musicals. You have one or two really good hits, the A and the B side, if you will.
Right.
And then there's just the bed music in between.
Right.
Here, there's a lot of pieces that every one of them I've heard is one that you're going to remember going home.
Thank you so much. It's each one stand alone.
Yeah.
And that's what my buddy out in LA said. He said, he came out, he goes, Mark, you got to transition past this. Hey, because you're going to lose. Don't be Sting.
Don't be Sting.
Don't be Sting.
That's going to be the title of the interview. Don't be Sting.
Don't be Sting. So it's just been a blast. It's been absolutely totally rewarding. And when I wrote them and I got them down and I put them into the I put them in the composition program, and then when I actually heard them back, the first time I heard them back from the orchestration program. It was just when you hear them come to life, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait for everybody out there, your listeners, to hear this live on June 20th with the Jason Nelson Band.
And now, not to cut you off there, Mark, but after June 20th, is this going to be a recurring event, or are we going to?
Oh, absolutely! Okay. I'm already talking. They're already talking about us to have us out in Las Vegas. They're already, how cool would that be?
That would be awesome.
And then we're also going to go around. We also have we're touring a lot. This is just the very beginning. This is just the first step in where we're going.
I'm excited to be a part of the ride here.
It's fun to be St. Louis. I mean, in St. Louis is incredible, and St. Louis is rock and roll too. So
it is, and I got to ask you, the tie-ins are just amazing too, to with the World's Fair and all of this, for where you can really just love where you live in that moment too. For all the audience, there's a true connection there.
And actually Tesla has a great connection to St. Louis.
Yeah.
He always needed money.
Yeah.
We always need money. Anyway, he put together all these electric road shows, light shows, that he went around the country and to make money.
Wow.
And he was actually in the thing, and they had like sparks coming out of him, and it was really kind of amazing. Well, anyway, the last one he did was right here in St. Louis at the St. Louis Exhibition Hall, and which is now the St. Louis, they tore it down, it's now the St. Louis Public Library, but it was right here. Anyway, he was kind of an internal guy. He really was. And at the end of the show, he literally got mobbed. The people they just wanted to touch him. They just wanted to be with him. I mean, it scared him to death, and that was the last one he did. Wow. So the last one he did was right here in St. Louis at the St. Louis Exhibition Hall, downtown St. Louis.
It's just fantastic. And so as you're putting all this together, what did you take away from Tesla, the person, the most?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me that. I talk his mother. His mother was a true genius. His mother gave him all the tools that he needed to become Tesla. She was an inventor around the house. She would invent little things over in his hometown, and she was so incredible. She was really, truly the hand that rocked the cradle, and it is so important. And that's the very first song in our show, and the chorus line, and the hand that rocked the cradle will rule the world at last, and that he gave him the power. I guess the idea I want to get across is the power that each one of us have to affect the next person, and she really ignited the ignition with Nikola Tesla.
What a great story. What a great tie into that. What's the name of the piece?
Yeah, Born Tesla.
Fantastic. So why don't we do this? We'll take another break for top of the hour, come back, chat it up some more, and this is Born Tesla.
Yeah, play Born Tesla.
There you go. We'll see you. Top of the hour rolls around the corner, riverbender.com, Roku TV, Apple Podcasts. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's our daily show on this 27th day of February. More next.
Born at midnight through a thundering tempest, a child of the storm. The midwife cried, oh no, he will be known as a child of light. I replied, in the routine of performing the mechanics of living, I am apt to forget the inner child at my side. Stepping stones, a guide, a path I must give him to help him along his way in life. The ordinary will become the extraordinary. His reach will now exceed his grasp. The hand that rocked the cradle will rule the world at last. I must teach him to be kind, good, and honest, to help his fellow human beings. His greatest critic, a self-accounting to himself, to rely on his own judgment for everything. When he lingers for a moment too long,
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
down to Shoreham, on cliffs overlooking Long Island Sound. Then an hour-long carriage right through the countryside, transforming Wardenclyffe's farmer's field, where the next wonder of the world will be found. A wireless system for communication and power, a grand vision, a 187-foot wooden tower, a 55-ton steel sphere on top, covered with a thin layer of copper, a shaft with 16 iron pipes, driven 100 feet into the ground. Currents, vibrations will seize hold of the earth. An endless river, Wardenclyffe will deliver. The planet itself will begin to quiver. No mortal or deity ever imagined or asked. Never undertook such a Herculean task. A worldwide free distribution of energy, connecting all the corners of the globe, wherever you may be. Whoa! No mortal or deity ever imagined or asked. Never undertook such a Herculean task. A worldwide free distribution of energy, connecting all the corners of the globe, wherever you may be. Whoa! Wherever you the powers that be don't want
10 o'clock rolls on in downtown Alton, 10:03. Back with Mark Rodgers, Nikola Tesla.
We're thrilled. I'm thrilled to be here.
Light it up. An original rock opera coming your way to Delmar, to the Delmar Hall.
Delmar Hall, June 20th.
Sorry, I had an old sponsor that I thought of, and I went, almost said their name. No, this is going to be really cool, June the 20th, and take me through this song, Wardenclyffe, because, this really, you've been talking about it a couple of times now, really impactful song on this one.
Yeah, Wardenclyffe was supposed to be one of his greatest inventions.
Mm-hmm.
He was, and designs. He was one, his idea was he wanted to give and supply free electric energy, wireless, to the world, touching all the corners of the globe. And he was going to build this 187-foot tower that was going to on Long Island outside in Wardenclyffe, New York. And he got that. He always needed money. He got J.P. Morgan to support him on it. Mm-hmm. Well, J.P. Morgan shows up the one day, and he looks up and he sees all this going on, and they're spending a lot of money making this tower. And the first thing he asks was, goes up, "Hey, where's the meter on this thing? Mm-hmm. Where's the meter?" Which means he couldn't do it. He goes, "No, it's going to be free. It's going to be free to the world."
Wow.
And J.P. Morgan cut him off immediately.
Really?
He cut him off immediately. And he couldn't see the vision. He just could not see to help humanity. And that's what that entire song is about. There's no mortal or deity ever imagined or asked, never undertook such a Herculean task. Wow. And that is truly what Nikola Tesla was.
I just think it's incredible that, you're able to tell such an important story through this music, because, it really showcases, I think, so many things that, the what could have been, if the monopolies of the world and the higher powers that be and all the corrupt, bullshit, quite frankly, that happens. To me, if I'm writing this, it fires you up almost, it would fire me up going, what could have happened if, these conversations went differently, or if there was a different viewpoint somewhere.
Right. Well, it's just the it seems like they just want total control.
Yeah,
you
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so but he had that envision that it was actually given to him by his mother to help humanity. And at the end of his life, to be kind of honestly, he kind of got sour a little bit because everybody's stolen his ideas. Yep. And they were manufacturing. $1 billion corporations were created, and he didn't get a penny. Yeah. And he actually died. Unfortunately, he died penniless. And in New York City,
really,
at the New Yorker Hotel, and in fact, his room is still there. It was 3327 at the New Yorker. And he actually died penniless. And he actually had you want to hear the conspiracy theory on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually had, we're going to play that piece before we leave, that he actually had an idea to bring, he hated war. And he wanted to bring peace to the world. And he had a dome. I'm not joking. He had a dome, a laser beam that he called the Teleforce Ray that he was going to give to the entire world, to each individual country, that was going to make war obsolete.
Wow. And
then the conspiracy theory is, you want to hear this one? That he was supposed to go to the president of the United States and present it to him that the next day. And he ended up dead that night.
Wow.
Wow, that's a conspiracy theory on it.
That's one that you can think about.
I know.
So, when you're writing this and you're composing it, take me through how you showcase Tesla as the person changing and evolving throughout this, because like you said, at the end of his life, he starts to get a little bit sour towards the ideas that are stolen from him. Do you showcase that through the music as time goes on, and how are you able to do that too? Yeah,
so the one song that we have is called "Liars, Thieves, and Knaves, Highwaymen and Banditos," and that song it talks about how they just stole everything from him. Yeah, they just stole him, and he could have been, and they actually say in the song, from Tesla's perspective, I only have myself to blame, and really he should have locked down his ideas better than he did. But he always had the genius of him was he always needed money. He always needed to get onto the next project, and he always believed he could come up with the next new idea to get the next money in. Yeah, he never doubted himself, and he never doubted that he couldn't get to the next level.
I love it. So, before as we're talking about this, what do you hope the audience takes away the most from the Light It Up show?
Well, the idea that is not only the genius of the man, but the humanity of the man, and how everything that he does touches every part of our life. But if there's anything that I would like them to go, he goes, if they walk out of that place, they go, I can do this. I can make this happen. Look at this happen. If we have one idea, if you have one part, so if I can inspire anybody in one way to see what this one man did, and if somebody walks out and they go, I can do that. I can make that to the next step. I got an idea. Let's do it. If I can inspire somebody in that way to take that, to turn that page, it'd be the greatest happiness in my life.
How long did it take you to put all this together?
Oh, 4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you take any inspiration away from outside influences on this project, or do you have to stay strictly into the Tesla world? The reason I'm asking is it seems like to me I'd get distracted with different influences when you're focusing on just that one individual, but I'm not experienced on that.
No, I listen to everything. I listen to everything. I listen to movies. I listen to everything. I mean, I know more about him now than I know about Da Vinci, which I can't believe now. I read 20 books on him. Wow. And so you just find out so much, and the more you get into it, the more you get it just, and you find out what he said and what he did, and how each one applies. Like he wrote in the one song I wrote, the one greatest line he said, when J.P. Morgan was pulling the plug on him, he wrote him an emotional letter asking him not to do that. And he said, to achieve a great result is one thing, but to achieve it at the right time is another. Yeah. And then there came one that I thought, oh my God, what a great line that is. So I put in, but he believed the whole world was ruled by numbers, by 3, 6, and 9. Now, did you know that? Really? Whenever he went around a building, he'd walk around it 3 times before he'd walk into it. And he believes the numbers 3, 6, and 9 rule the universe. Wow. So the one line of the song goes, 3, 6, 9, living life by the numbers. To achieve a great result is one thing. To achieve it at the right time is another.
This is just fantastic. And this is going to be Light It Up, an original rock opera. It's performed by the Jason Nelson Band. How that story came to be is just such a cool one, too. We were talking about that earlier.
I'm thrilled that he is playing. He's one of the premier entertainers here in St. Louis.
You can go to the Facebook event page. This will take you right there to it. Oh, I'm on the picture still. It'll take you right there to it. Delmar Hall is the event host, and it'll give you right to the ticket link. Or you could just show up to Delmar Hall, like you said, Tuesday, Thursday, as box office is open.
Or 1 hour between each one of the shows.
Okay.
Before the shows. And during the week, you got the behind the shows. You can buy at face value with no ticketing fees.
And now, where are you at in the process as you get up to June 20th? What does that look like for you in terms of setup? Is it just, are you guys kind of in the state of, we're ready to go?
Well, no, we're in rehearsal right
Okay.
now. We're in rehearsal right now with the band.
Okay.
So we're in the rehearsal right now with the band, and we're writing out all the lighting cues, and we're just making sure everything goes all right. We're not going to have a chance to do a preview. Like you come off Broadway, like on those Broadway shows, they'll do 4 months of previews.
Really?
Or 4 weeks or 6 weeks of previews before they have opening night.
No kidding.
Yeah, they have discounted tickets, and then they have the opening night. We're really not going to have that opportunity. But Jason, he's
a pro.
He's a mess. He plays out 3 times a week. He does those. So he's. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this at all.
You know, this is just going to be a great night. We hope to see you there on June the 20th. What's our final song that you wanted to?
Well, I'm going to do his biggest invention. Was this Teleforce Ray?
Okay.
And let's end with peace.
Fantastic. Well, Mark, please join us as you get closer and closer. We'd love to hear how the journey's been as we get closer to June 20th, and we'll see you there.
That sounds great. I can't wait to see you there.
We'll link everything in a write-up on riverbender.com. But now, a quick break. But before we get to the break, here's peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this moment, the consequence of my birth, to reveal my invention of inventions, the reason I was placed here on earth. Imagine a particle beam so powerful, an instrument capable of projecting a focus stream of energy across the sky, unimaginable until today. Not a weapon of aggression, but protection and invisible